Вон лежат они уже древненькие.
Ну, сколько
Это
трупов.
мумифицировано.
То есть он здесь эти делал, да?
Да, из трупов кукол.
То есть древний там, да?
Да.
Там все девушки, да?
Ну, как правило.
Надо кладбище в угол.
Вечерние съемки. Ну, тут чуть-чуть. Вот, сзади. Ноги. Да. А? Он сам.
Anatoly Moskvin, a name lost to the annals of history, yet synonymous with a chilling darkness. A man of intellect, fluent in 13 languages, a respected historian, delving into the mysteries of Celtic culture. But behind this facade of normalcy lurked a macabre obsession. His fascination? Death. From a young age, Moskvin was drawn to cemeteries. The stillness, the weathered headstones, the scent of earth and decay. These weren't places of mourning for him, but sources of morbid fascination. He saw beauty in the macabre, a sentiment that would later manifest in the most horrifying way imaginable. His knowledge of history extended beyond textbooks. Moskvin was a self-proclaimed expert on cemeteries, meticulously documenting their layouts and the stories etched onto each tombstone. He wandered through these cities of the dead, a solitary figure consumed by the secrets they held. Little did anyone know, his fascination would soon morph into something far more sinister. The seeds of Moskvin's morbid curiosity were sown early. At the tender age of 11, a chilling incident occurred that would forever shape his psyche. During a funeral procession, he was forced to kiss the face of a deceased young girl. This act, intended as a cultural tradition, instead ignited a morbid fascination within him. His fascination with death grew. He began collecting newspaper clippings about deaths, particularly those of young girls. His room became a shrine to the departed, filled with obituaries, funeral wreaths, and other morbid artifacts. His parents, though concerned, dismissed it as a harmless eccentricity. How wrong they were. Even as a child, Moskvin displayed an unsettling interest in the rituals surrounding death. He would spend hours at the library, poring over books on embalming, mummification, and the occult. His thirst for knowledge knew no bounds, especially when it came to the preservation of the dead. This thirst, however, would soon turn into a macabre obsession. As Moskvin matured, his obsession with death only intensified. He became a recluse, isolating himself further from the world. His only solace was found in his gruesome studies and his frequent visits to cemeteries, which became more frequent, his behavior more erratic. He began to believe he could communicate with the dead. He claimed to hear their whispers, their pleas to be brought back to life. Driven by this delusion, he embarked on a horrifying mission to grant them their wish. His knowledge of mummification, once a morbid curiosity, became a tool for his twisted desires. Moskvin's expertise on cemeteries earned him a degree of respect in certain circles. He was even invited to contribute to necrologies, publications dedicated to documenting the deceased. His work was meticulous, detailed, and eerily insightful. All the while, he hid his true intentions behind a veil of academic curiosity. The full extent of Moskvin's depravity remained hidden for years. That is, until 2011, when the police made a horrifying discovery in his apartment. What they found sent shockwaves through Russia and beyond. The stench of decay hit them first, a nauseating aroma that spoke of something deeply wrong. The apartment was crammed with dolls of all shapes and sizes. Dressed in frilly dresses and adorned with bows, they appeared harmless at first glance. But as the police delved deeper, a horrifying truth was revealed. These were not dolls, but the mummified corpses of young girls, their bodies carefully preserved by Moskvin's own hand. 26 bodies were discovered that day, each one a testament to his macabre obsession. Some were propped up on chairs, others tucked into beds, surrounded by stuffed animals. It was a scene straight out of a nightmare, a grotesque mockery of a child's playroom. Section 5. A Mind Unraveled. The discovery of the mummified bodies sent shockwaves through Russia. Moskvin was immediately apprehended. During his interrogation, he displayed a chilling detachment, referring to his victims as his dolls, and claiming he was merely giving them a second life. He spoke of his victims with a chilling affection, believing he could communicate with them, comfort them. Psychiatrists diagnosed Moskvin with paranoid schizophrenia. They determined that he believed he could reanimate the dead through a combination of mystical rituals and scientific knowledge. He saw himself not as a monster, but as a savior, rescuing these girls from the cold embrace of death. His delusions were so strong that he even wrote letters to the families of his victims, apologizing for borrowing their children and promising to return them once he had perfected his reanimation techniques. The letters, filled with ramblings and pronouncements of his supposed powers, served only to amplify the horror of his crimes. Section 6. Confined to the shadows. Deemed unfit to stand trial, Moskvin was committed to a psychiatric hospital. He remains there to this day, a prisoner of his own twisted mind. The families of his victims are left to grapple with the unimaginable, forever haunted by the knowledge that their loved ones were desecrated in such a horrific manner. The case of Anatoly Moskvin stands as a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface of seemingly ordinary individuals. It is a stark illustration of the devastating power of mental illness and the horrific consequences that can arise when delusion goes unchecked. Section 7. The Unanswered Questions. Despite the passage of time, questions still linger. How did Moskvin manage to exhume and mummify so many bodies without arousing suspicion? Did he have help? And what drove him to commit such horrific acts? These are questions that may never be fully answered, adding another layer of unease to an already disturbing case. Some speculate that Moskvin's knowledge of cemeteries and his contributions to necrologies provided him with both the opportunity and the cover for his crimes. Others believe he may have had accomplices, individuals who shared his macabre interests and assisted him in his gruesome endeavors. The true extent of Moskvin's crimes may never be known, but one thing is certain. His case serves as a stark reminder of the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface of seemingly ordinary individuals. Section 8. A Legacy of Unease. The legacy of Anatoly Moskvin continues to cast a long shadow over Russia. His crimes shocked a nation, forcing people to confront the uncomfortable reality that monsters can hide in plain sight. The case sparked a nationwide debate about mental health, highlighting the need for greater awareness and access to treatment. The families of Moskvin's victims continue to live with the unimaginable pain and trauma inflicted upon them. They have shown incredible strength and resilience in the face of such adversity, but their lives will forever be marked by this tragedy. The case also exposed flaws in the Russian legal system's handling of mental illness, prompting calls for reform. Many believe that Moskvin, despite his diagnosis, should be held accountable for his crimes. Section 9. The Thin Veil Between Worlds. The case of Anatoly Moskvin serves as a chilling reminder of the thin veil that separates the world of the living from the realm of the dead. It forces us to confront the uncomfortable reality that death, while a natural part of life, can also be a source of profound disturbance and even obsession. Moskvin's belief that he could communicate with the dead, that he could bring them back to life, speaks to a deep-seated human desire to conquer death, to deny its finality. His actions, however twisted, were driven by a desire to control that which cannot be controlled. Section 10. A stark reminder. The chilling tale of Anatoly Moskvin serves as a stark reminder that the human psyche is a vast and often uncharted territory. Within its depths lie both the capacity for great love and unimaginable darkness. It is a reminder that we must be vigilant in recognizing the signs of mental illness and in seeking help for ourselves and others when needed. The case of Anatoly Moskvin is a story that will stay with you long after you have finished reading it. It is a story of obsession, delusion, and the horrific consequences that can arise when the human mind goes astray. It is a story that forces us to confront the darkness that exists within us all and to cherish the precious gift of life.